Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Om Sam Saraswatyai Namaha Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Hari Om. So the text I wanted to begin with was yesterday, which I mentioned, was Prashnottara Ratnamalika. But the paper is there somewhere. I'm not able to figure it out where it is. It's a photocopied book. And so we will look at this beautiful text by the sage Ashtavakra. The sage Ashtavakra is in the time of Janaka. Janaka, Sita's father, Rama's father-in-law. So during that time, and why the screen is not functioning properly. The sage Ashtavakra is during the time of Janaka. One moment. And he had a problem. He was in his mother's womb for a long time, and his father was reciting the Vedas. And Ashtavakra, he pointed out some error in the Vedas. And father was very angry. He said, "You're not even born and you're finding mistakes with my chanting and interpretations." And then he cursed Ashtavakra to become deformed. So Ashtavakra he was born with all kinds of deformities. He was not a very pleasant person to look at. The back was hunched, the hands were bent in many ways, the legs were bow-legged and bent, the neck was also bent and turned in one fashion. So he was looking very hideous. And once this Ashtavakra, his father used to engage in a lot of debates. And his mother told Ashtavakra, "Go and call your father. The food is getting cold at home. So bring your father from the debate wherever he is." So Ashtavakra goes to Janaka's court. And then the moment he steps inside, he is looking so ugly that everybody in the court, all the Purohits, all the people who are all discussing on the Vedas and the Vedanta Charcha they are doing, they all look at Ashtavakra and they start laughing. And so Ashtavakra went and told Janaka, "I thought learned people are in your court. I didn't know people who are all working with leather are all sitting here. They've got brains that are fit only for making leather chappals, stitching. It is not about the cobblers, because everybody is seeing only the skin and they are looking at Ashtavakra and they are laughing." And so Ashtavakra, when he said that, The sage Janaka was very amazed at such kind of a knowledge that is coming out of this person's mouth. He said, there are no self realized beings here. Everybody is only a leather mechanic. They know how to work with leather. That is the kind of people. What discussion are you having? He went and told the king, I've just come to ask for my father to come home and nothing else. So I may leave. Then Ashtavakra, Janaka noted the clarity in this young person, and then he chose to have Ashtavakra by his side and made him his guru. So that is the Ashtavakra Gita is the text that is told by Ashtavakra, the discussion between Ashtavakra and King Janaka. The student of this Samhita is giving the autobiography of a liberated person in life. How does a liberated person look like, and what are his qualities? So this Ashtavakra Gita, very, very interesting. Though it's called Gita, it has got none of the qualities of the Bhagavad Gita. It is a song. It's called Gita because it's a song. But the Bhagavad Gita is a please all book. It has in it Karma Yoga, it has in it Bhakti Yoga, it has in it Jnana Yoga. There are splashes of Jnana here and there. But the whole of Bhagavad Gita is about karma and about devotion. Devotion to Ishvara, and karma is about how to do actions. And Jnana and Moksha are also discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. But here, there is no other discussion completely in this big text. How many? There are many, many verses. Let us see how many verses are there. There are there are many chapters. So each of the chapters it's a very big book. And let us see how we are able to go through the verses. We are not going to see the main commentary there is a commentary by Swami Chinmaya. It is available with Chinmaya Mission Publications. And you can take the commentary and give it a good reading. We will go through the verses and we will see the meanings of the verses of the Ashtavakra Gita. So Janaka begins with a question. Janaka is a very wise king. He's a Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he's a Raja, he's a king, and as well as he's a seer of the truth. He's a seer of that fullness or the oneness within that resides within. And so he's called a Rajarshi. He is asking Ashtavakra, Janaka uvacha katham jnanam avapnoti katham muktir bhavishyati vairagyam cha katham praptam etad bruhi mama prabho. Oh Prabhu, it's very direct. It is there is nothing praising, no mollycoddling, or no welcoming, or no asanam, padyam, nothing. It goes directly to the point. Katham jnanam avapnoti. How can I get knowledge? Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the truth, knowledge of the Brahman. Katham muktir bhavishyati. How do I get that knowledge and become free? Mukti is having that knowledge of the self is mukti. Bhavishyati. Vairagyam cha katham praptam. How can I be withdrawn from this world? This world is attracting me in all directions. How can I completely withdraw from this world? Praptam etad vairagyam cha katham praptam etad bruhi mama prabho. O Prabho, O Master, O Lord, please tell me about this. Now Ashtavakra begins. Ashtavakra uvacha muktim ichhasi chet tata vishayan vishavatyaja kshamarjava dayatosha satyam piyusha vadbhajam. So Ashtavakra is very, very kind in his discussion. He says, if you are asking because you want moksha, right? If you want moksha, muktim ichhasi chet tata. Oh, my son, my dear son, means the guru is addressing the shishya as his own son. Muktim ichhasi, you want liberation. Then what you do? Vishayan vishavatyaja. All the vishayas means all the objects of the senses. Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling and touching and speaking, grasping, walking, reproducing and excreting. Everything, all the 10 sense organs of perception and action, everything is poisonous in its nature. Adi Shankaracharya, Vishat Visham Kim Vishaya Samastaha. He talks in Prashnottari Ratna Malika. Vishat Visham Kim. What is the greatest Visham, poison of all poisons? Vishayaha Samastaha. All the 10 sense objects of perception and action are Visham. Why? The poison of a snake will come to us only if the snake comes and bites us. But these objects, even when they are far away, even we look at them from far away, they are going to destroy our life. So, Vishavat Tyaja. Give up all the attractions for the sense objects, like as if they were all poison. Then, Kshama Arjavam. Kshama means, in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, we saw, Kshama is how much ever somebody beats us, or somebody criticizes us, or somebody is, hitting us also. Bhagavad Gita goes to that extreme. Even paran tadayati apichet. You do not get agitated. Your mind does not change because of that. That is kshama. Kshama means basically forgiveness. Forgiveness is good for us more than it is good for the people whom we forgive. So kshama. Arjavam. Arjavam is straightforwardness, not being crooked in our thinking. Arjavam. Daya, compassion. Tosha. Tosha is santosha. Whatever objects I have with me, I am very content with those objects. I don't go after more and more objects to fulfill my cravings and my needs. Satyam, Piyushavat Bhaja. Piyusha means immortal. Satyam, truth. Kshama is forgiveness and patience. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Daya is compassion towards all beings. And Tosha, Santosha or contentment. Satyam. Satyam is speaking the truth, speaking the same thing that is there in the mind and not something different. Piyushavat Bhaja. You worship all this and you serve all these qualities. You pay attention to all these qualities and you cultivate all these qualities as if they were immortality by themselves. Then he goes straight to the point. Who are you? He is telling Janaka, Na prithvi, na jalam, na agnihi, na vayurdhyar, na vayurdhyaur, na va bhavan, esham sakshinam atmanam, chidrupam vidhi muktaye. So, na prithvi, you are not the earth. You are not the water, na jalam, na agnihi, you are not the fire. Krishna did not speak all this with Arjuna because he wanted Arjuna to come for war. He wanted Arjuna to continue and participate in the war. But if he had spoken all this to Arjuna, he would have, after the first chapter, he would have surely gone to the Himalayas, leaving the war. That is the kind of vairagya that this book can confer upon us. The truth is so direct and so raw that we don't need any mollycoddling, we don't need any kind of a suggestions, we don't need any kind of a process. There is no mention about any process or how to get there. It is talking about the truth. It is like describing, this is America, this is Australia, this is India. On the world map, here is Japan. Like that, he is describing what is the truth. Na prithvi, na jalam, na agnihi, na vayur dyauhu. You are not the sky, you are not the fire, you are not the air, you are not the earth, you are not the water. Va bhavan. O Janaka, you are not all this. Esham sakshinam atmanam. You, that self in you, is a sakshi. Sakshi means is the witness of all these 5 elements. Chidrupam vidhi muktaye. You know that you are that chit, you are that consciousness. Your form is of consciousness. Vidhi. For what sake you should know? For the sake of liberation, you should know that you are that consciousness. Very beautiful. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's commentary is very, very detailed in all the verses. Yadi deham prathakritya chiti vishramya tishtasi adhunaiva sukhi shantaha bandha mukto bhavishyasi. In the very third verse itself, he tells the means for liberation. In the first verse was a question. The second verse is Ashtavakra. He's saying you are not all the 5 elements that you see outside of you. Yadi, in the second verse, he says that. In the third verse, he says you are not the 5 elements. In the fourth verse, he says if you want that liberation that we are talking about, Yadi deha prithakritya, if you are able to set aside your body, chiti vishramya tishtati, and you rest in consciousness as your own self, true self, adhuna eva, now, even now itself, sukhi shantaha, you can be very happy, you can be very calm. And bandha muktaha bhavishyasi, you become free from all bondage. What is it that ties to us to this samsara? Is our identification with this body. If you drop that identification with the body, yadi deham prathakrit, if you are able to keep set aside your body as not mine, this is just like any other log of wood. That is how it looks like once the life leaves the body. Yadi deham prathakritya chiti vishramya tishtasi, if you just relax and be comfortable as consciousness in consciousness, adhuna eva sukhi shantaha, even now you can become very happy, you can be very comfortable and you can be very calm. Bandha muktaha, you can also be free of bondage. The fifth verse, natvam vipradiko varno nashrami naksha gocharaha asangosi nirakaraha vishwasakshi sukhi bhava. So he's continuing with the sakshi bhava. I am the sakshi of all the 5 elements and I am the sakshi of this body. I am the witness of this body. I am not the body, I am witness of the body. Natvam vipradikaha varnaha, I am not all the communities and the jatis, varnas, the different qualities that make me either a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya or a shudra. I am not all that also. Na ashrami, I am not an ashrami. I am not in the brahmacharya ashrama or grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama or the sannyasa ashrama. All that applies to the mind that is in the body. I am not all that. Na aksha gocharaha, I am not all the sense organs of perception, the seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling and touching. I am not all that also. Then who am I? Asangaha, I am detached from everything. I am not identified with anything. I am the observer of everything. Asangaha, nirakaraha, do I have a form? The body has a form. Do I have a form? No, I do not have a form. Vishwasakshi, not here he is talking about Janaka. The Guru has realized himself and he is now passing on that knowledge to the disciple. Vishwasakshi sukhi bhava. So be very happy all the time by seeing this Vishwam. Vividham shvayate iti Vishwaha. The whole world moves in many directions. That changes and keeps modifying itself in many directions is called Vishwa. Dharma dharma sukham dukkham manasani na te vibho na kartasi na bhoktasi mukta evasi sarvada. Repetition is one way by which we can get some point very clearly established in our head. Again he is telling, you are not all what? You are not dharma. Dharma means my productivity in this world. The right action that I do in this world is called dharma. You are not that. Adharma, withdrawing from all action, not doing anything or doing a contrary action is adharma. An action contrary to dharma is adharma. You are not that also. Sukham dukkham, you are not joy, you are not sorrow. Manasani na te vibho, you are not the mind also that has this joy and sorrow in it. Te vibho. Manasani sukham dukkham, you are not the joy and sorrow that belongs to the mind. Na kartasi na bhoktasi. So the dharma and adharma are done by the body and the prana, karta, and the enjoyment of all the results of action is the bhokta, the mind. You are not both. Mukta evasi sarvada. You are the witness of the mind and the body. And so you are free. You are not bound by the mind. You are not bound by the body. Eko drashtasi sarvasya mukta prayosi sarvada ayameva hi te bandha drashtaram pashyasi taram. Ekah drashta asi sarvasya mukta prayaha asi sarvada. The drashta, the seer, is not only here, it is one and it is everywhere. And the drashta is mukta already. The drashta is free only. Nothing can bind that seer. Sarvada at all times. Ayameva hi te bandhaha. Now, what is your bondage? Your bondage is that the drashtaram pashyasi itaram. You think of somebody else or something else as a seer. You think of the mind as a seer. You think of the sense organs as a seer. Neither the sense organs nor the mind are the seer. The seer is consciousness. It is not attached to anything. It is present everywhere and in everything. Just like space is present everywhere and in everything, inside this body, outside this body, the space does not get disturbed by the movement of the body. Just because I'm sitting in this chair, the space in this chair doesn't get displaced. It gives place for everything and it does not get displaced. So in the same way, more subtle than space is consciousness. That consciousness does not move anywhere, does not go anywhere. And you are that consciousness, but unfortunately, you are thinking about the consciousness in a different way. That is your problem. That is your bondage. The 8th verse. Aham kartetyaham manam aha krishna hi damshitaha aha krishna hi damshitaha naham karteti vishwa sa amritam vishwasa amritam pitva sukhi bhava. You have been bitten by the great black serpent called ego, ahamkara. Aham karta iti aham mana mahakrishna damshitaha. Mahakrishna sarpa mana. That idea that I am the doer, you have been bitten by that serpent. Na aham karta iti vishwasa amrutam. If you understand that you are not the doer, that vishwasa, that faith you have that you are not the doer, pitva sukhi bhava, amritam pitva sukhi bhava. Drink that nectar that I am not the doer and be happy, be cheerful. Sukhi means be comfortable. There is nothing to disturb you. If you understand the truth that you are not the doer, you are not the enjoyer also. Eko vishuddha bodhoham iti nishchaya vakhnina prajvalya jnana gahanam vita shokas sukhi bhava. We will see how long this sukhi bhava is continuing. The 10th verse. To the 10th verse we will see. Ekaha vishuddha bodhaha aham iti nishchaya vakhnina. By that certain fire of consciousness that there is only one knowledge, and that knowledge is I, aham iti, prajvalya jnana gahanam. That deep knowledge is burning bright in you. Vita shokaha sukhi bhava. When that knowledge of the self, that I am the self, burns bright in you, then you are a vita shoka. You are free of all sorrow. Sukhi bhava, may you be very happy. Yatra vishwamidam bhati kalpitam rajju sarpavat ananda paramanandah sabodhastvam sukham chara. So there is a knowledge. Yatra vishwamidam bhati, where this whole world is appearing to you, kalpitam rajju sarpavat. This whole, the rajju, or the rope is the consciousness, the screen on which everything falls inside the mind. In the mind, there is this consciousness, that light of awareness. On that light of awareness, all the visions and images from outside fall on the light of awareness, like how the films, the colors of the film, the movie, the story, everything falls on the screen without touching the screen, without affecting the screen. In the same way, in the screen of consciousness within, all the objects of the 10 sense organs, they come and they just land up there. They land there. Bhati, they don't even land, they appear to be there. Kalpitam, how do they appear? Rajju Sarpavat. When you see a snake in the dark, you think, when you see a rope in the dark, you think it is a snake and it is moving and you get scared about it also. In the same way, the rope is just this layer of consciousness that is there within. And on that layer of consciousness, everything falls. And because everything lands there, you think that whatever lands there is real, because consciousness gives life and light to all the thoughts that land up there. So because it has life and it has got bigness, it is making us do some things, it is making us cry, it is making us laugh, it is making us do work, it is making us desire something, it is making us do so many things. So you believe it is real. And if you know that it is not real, Ananda Paramanandaha Sabodhastvam Sukham Chara. Ananda means blissful. Parama Ananda, extremely blissful. Sabodhastvam, with that knowledge. Sukham Chara, comfortably move around in this world with this knowledge of the truth. So we will continue tomorrow with the Ashtavakra Gita. I hope you are enjoying. Many of your friends may there who may like it, but they may not be aware of it. Please let them know that these talks are happening and they're going to continue for quite some time now, till we finish the Ashtavakra Gita. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Satoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.